Hi, I'm Claire and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In a video that was unplanned today because I can't focus on anything else, ironically. I'm going to take an ADHD test. So this is from ADHD Ireland. It's a list of questions. It's not like an official test. But if you pass, you've got ADHD. So if you answer yes to more than half of these questions, you may be living with ADHD related traits. Only agree if you think the characteristic in question is a lifelong one. Do you often lose or forget things? Yes. Are you adventurous about new foods, music, or experiences? Yes. Do you forget to pay bills or accrue overdrafts even when you have enough money? Yes. Do you feel stuck, like you aren't moving forward in your life? Not at the minute, but I have done a lot, so I'm just going to go with no on that. Do you get in the zone when you're interested in something, often focusing so deeply that everything else falls away? Yes. Do you tend to think outside the box? I like to think so. I'm going to say no to this one. Specifically thinking of work scenarios where I'm like, no, this is how it works and this is how you should do it. I do think outside the box in terms of creative stuff, but you know what? I've said yes to a lot of questions. I'm going to say no to that one. Are you easily distracted by sights, sounds, smells, emotions, or random thoughts? Yes. Yes, unfortunately. Do you write, think, speak, or dream in vivid imagery? Yes. So I'm one of those people that sees the picture in your head. Is it often difficult for you to go to bed when you intend to and shut down your brain to sleep? Yes. Yes. A while ago I did a video trying Headspace to help me go to sleep. Planning on trying CBD oil for a while to see does it help me sleep. And also I got melatonin to try and help me sleep. Horrendously bad. Have you ever struggled with alcohol, drugs, gambling, or other addictive habits? No. Are you a free thinker who often questions the decisions and opinions of others? I'm going to say no, even though the answer is yes. Are your attachments to people and animals in your life intensely strong and emotional? Yes. Do you have a good sense of humour that may consist of subtle jokes, intricate teasing, and metaphors that others may not understand? Yes. Doesn't everyone? Do you get excited and persistent when you're solving a challenging problem? Yes. Are you fun, spontaneous, the life of the party? I'm going to say no, because I was when I was in my 20s, but now I'm in my 30s. Have you changed jobs often? Yes. This is not looking good for me, lads. Are you often deeply moved by music, language, or the visual arts? Yes. Music and films make me cry regularly. Is it difficult for you to follow through and complete projects? If I get bored, yeah. If it's not like consistently challenging, it can be. I'm going to say no though, because I do it, but I definitely force myself to do it. Do you have difficulty sustaining relationships, especially when they become familiar or routine? I'm going to say no, because I've been with my husband 12 years. And it's fairly routine, so I'm going to say no. Have you developed your own method of learning and understanding concepts that leads to conflict with others who don't use or understand your method? Oh my God, yes. Do you see or know patterns and solutions in complexity that others are likely to miss? Yes. Are you always on the go, rarely able to relax even when you want to? Well, that's a yes, but that's just because I'm starting my own business and trying to be a freelance person now. So, like, yeah, but like, come on. Do you have a difficult time gauging the time it will take to do something and or the time it will take to get somewhere? Yes. Is it a challenge to get started on something, especially when you don't understand it or it's not interesting? Yes, if it's not interesting, 100%. Are you great in a crisis or any situation that requires flexibility and quick thinking? I like to think so. Does your abundance of thoughts and ideas make it difficult to focus on the task in hand? I'm going to say no to this, even though the answer could definitely be a yes, but I feel like I have mastered the art of making myself focus. Are you a high energy person? Ooh, high energy. Am I high energy? Actually, yeah, I definitely am, because Alex's running joke is that I need to be walked to calm down. Do your strong emotions take you beyond yourself into areas of philosophical consideration? Yes. When I get really upset, I'm like, what is life of existence? Do you work hard at being organised without much to show for your effort? This quiz is reading me like a book. Yes. I've spent so much time organising myself and I'm still not that organised. Do you intuitively understand complex concepts? Yes. That is why I am an expert for a very complicated thing in my full-time job currently that I'm finishing up. And nobody else can understand it. And I don't understand how anyone else can't understand it, because it is like incredibly complex and yet so simple at the same time. Are you confronted with the problem of having too many abilities in too many areas in which you'd like to work, discover and excel? I'm going to say no. I do feel like I could definitely work in several industries, but I'm going to say no to that one. Is it easy and natural for you to empathize with perspectives different from your own? Yes. These seem like human traits. Are you more creative than most people? Well, I like to think so. I'll say no, because I don't know if I'm more creative. Do you typically run late? No. And this is something that I have absolutely bet out of myself over the last 5 to 7 years. It really, really annoys me that I used to always be late to stuff. So I made it a conscious effort to not be late to things anymore. I think it's so fucking rude. I think it shows people that you don't value their time. And I despise when other people are late to meet me. Oh, that got me going. Do you often zone out in conversation and miss what people say? That is one of the worst things that I do. I'm like, somebody's talking to me and I'm listening and I'm interested, and yet I just go. I wonder, does my face actually glaze over? Because I'm just like, I go off on a tangent in my mind and then I have to like, oh my God, they're still talking, and like zone back in and then try and make it like I was listening the whole time. It's one of the things I hate about myself. Do you love intense physical activity and movement? Yes. Do you tend to interrupt or blurt things out in conversation because if you don't, you forget your thought or point? Yes. Lads, this is definitely over half of these. Have you had a lot of speeding tickets or other driving violations? No. But again, that's about control. I got one set of penalty points and I was like, never again. Are you frequently irritable or impatient? I'm going to say no to this, but again, that's because I've worked really, really hard on not being that way. And I definitely was the entire way through my 20s. However, I can be pretty impatient, especially when they don't understand a complex thing that's actually not really that complex. Are you curious about the world, always interested in learning new things? Yes. Do you find it difficult to keep your personal space organised? Yes. Do you rely on the pressure of deadlines to get things done, often at the last minute? Oh my God, yes. Do you tend to act impulsively without anticipating the consequences? No. The older I've gotten, I've realised actions have consequences. Are you a procrastinator? A little bit. Do you drink a lot of caffeine to help you focus? No, I drink a lot of caffeine because I like it and it makes me feel good. Not to focus though, so no. Do you react strongly to sights, sounds or smells that don't seem to affect others? I'm always like, God, you smell great about people's perfume, but no, I don't. I'm going to say no. Are you good at making connections between seemingly unrelated ideas? Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I mean, again, that's about being a YouTuber. Like, my friend Lorraine is starting a millinery company and I was like, why don't I make a series about it? And then, like, you're helping me become a full-time YouTuber by us doing this series together. I'm going to say no to that one. Do you often forget basic, everyday things and need reminders to remember and accomplish them? Oh my God. Yes. Do you seek out excitement or risk? Yes. However, I'm also chicken shit. I have a voucher to do a skydive and I've been too afraid to do it. But like, I'll definitely go on a staycation. Like, I do seek out excitement, but I don't seek out risk. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. So I'm going to say no. Do you often feel like you're underachieving in your life, not living up to your potential? Oh my God. Yes. Do you have the ability to predict consequences, see relationships and foresee problems which are likely to occur? Yes. Do you get bored easily? Yes. That's the entire test. Lads. Do I have ADHD? I thought this was going to be like a fun little experiment and now my whole world has just been thrown upside down. When I was younger, ADD and ADHD were considered two different things. ADD was attention deficit disorder and ADHD was attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I believe now that everything has come under the umbrella of ADHD. I did see a picture by ADHD Alien that talked about the 3 ADHD types. So there was 3 types. It was inattentive, combined, and hyperactive impulsive. I wouldn't consider myself hyperactive. However, it did say like they're hyperactive in talking or movement, impulsive and always looking for new paths in life. Emotions can boil up fast as they are very passionate. They might blurt out 1 or 2 inappropriate things in their fight against injustice. So that does sound like me. Okay. Then there's the inattentive, which I don't identify with because it was like, this type can be the hardest to detect due to the lack of visible hyperactivity. In fact, they might appear to move unusually slow as they try to deal with their hyperactive mind. This makes them amazing observers. They may not notice when being talked to, but will notice even the most trivial things. So I don't identify with that one. Then there's combined, which is probably the most confusing type, as they show symptoms from both sides, not really belonging into one category, not being quite hyperactive enough to fit the hyperactive stereotype. This ambiguity might be why they have a hard time realizing they have ADHD. So I would say probably combined would be what I'd identify with most. I talk really quickly, I move my hands a lot. I am impulsive, I'm always looking for new exciting things. I get bored in jobs after about 2 years. But at the same time, I don't feel like hyperactive really describes me. I definitely go through periods of like feeling low, etc., where I'm the opposite of hyperactive, you know, so I wouldn't consider myself hyperactive, but when I'm in a positive mental space, I would be animated. I definitely had a misunderstanding of ADD growing up because my brother was really hyperactive, and that made sense if people thought he had ADHD, but didn't make sense for me to have ADD because I was such a like nerd and such a bookworm. But I suppose looking at the questions on that test, it makes sense because the reason I could study so hard is because I could really focus in on something that was challenging me or interesting me, and I could really easily understand complex concepts. Oh my God. Do I have ADHD? And do I need to do something about it? Would my life be improved if I did something about it? Or would I be like a dog that's been fixed? Would I lose all my creativity and my passion and my fire? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below, what should I do? Should I try and get an official ADHD test? Can you get an official ADHD test? Did any of those questions resonate with you? Please talk to me down below in the comments. Please subscribe to my channel. If this is not the first video you've watched of me, why haven't you subscribed yet? What are you waiting for? Please consider supporting me on Patreon. I'm just about to finish up my full-time job and go full-time making YouTube videos. And Patreon will be the main way that I'll be supporting myself. If you're not in a position to commit to supporting me on Patreon, I also have a Ko-fi where you can buy me a pint. But the simplest and freest way that you can support the channel is just by liking this video, commenting down below, and subscribing. If you like this video, you might like this one, or you might like the entire test tube series. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Slán.